Okay, here's a look at Studio Series Megatron from Transformers the movie next to Devastator from Transformers the movie. I need to make a review of this still. So let's get him out of the way because here I'm doing a second review of the Studio Series Megatron to show you the correct transformation, but also to show you the customized transformation. So the alt mode looks a little nicer and functionally works a little bit better. But first, let me tell you that you can get this figure from toyarena.com. They just, recently got some stock of this figure. This is a really nice figure, so if you want to get it, I will leave the link in the description below. So now I'm going to try to go through this really fast because I already went through this figure once on my first review. But here, let's just take a close-up look at Megatron. So you could see that this is a really nicely sculpted figure with some extra sculpted detail, which gives a nice accent to the figure. Looks really nice. And for the most part, this is pretty tune accurate. The shins here people complain about is a little bit on the blue side, but in person it's actually not that bad. And the back, you could see now, cleans up much nicer with the barrel that didn't come with the previous versions. So here's a look at that. And then in terms of the accessories, we only get two accessories. You get this sword thing from Transformers the movie, and then you get a handgun with the Decepticon logo on there, so you can give it to one of the Decepticons to fire, at the Autobots from Transformers the movie. And then the instructions, I'm not going to go over this because this is a pretty big open up sheet, and if I remember, I think there's something like 50 something steps for transformation. Now, real quick, I just want to tell you, one of the disappointing things is this is missing his mace. Yeah, so you can't really replicate that scene from the cartoon where Optimus, let's bring him in for comparison, was battling Megatron. So you can kind of replicate that scene from the cartoon. Or you can argue, well, this is from Transformers the movie, not the cartoon, so that's why we're not giving you the mace. But my point is to let you know we are going to get another version, probably multiple versions of Megatron, and one of them most likely is going to come with that mace, so you can kind of replicate that scene from the cartoon. But anyways, I just wanted to point that out. So now, let's just go straight into the transformation.
Decepticons, transform! Transform!
Okay, to transform Megatron from robot mode to his vehicle alt mode, first you want to remove the cannon by simply untabbing it and put that to the side. Come to his back, bring down the barrel, untab that, and put that to the side. And then you want to straighten out his arms on both sides, and you want to rotate the forearms in 90 degrees like so. And then you want to lift up his arms all the way like so, and come up to get a better view. And then you want to open up the side panels of the forearms on both sides, and then fold in the fist. But before you fold in that fist, you need to make sure that finger is inside the thumb. Otherwise, this is not going to go down and in all the way. Once you got it in, then you want to rotate this around 180, and then you can close these side forearm panels back up. And then do the same on the other side. You want to open up these panels on the forearm, fold in that fist, rotate this around 180, and then you want to close these forearm panels back up like so. And then the shoulder joints, you want to bring them out. But here I just need to point out things. It's not easy as just simply pulling this out because there's a little nub there that's catching. So the easy way to get it out is to bring the arms forward like so, but bring him out, push him in all the way until this comes out on both sides. And then now you could see this easily comes out. And here I'll just show you what I was telling you. It's this little nub right here, if you could see, that's making it difficult to go in and also come out. But you saw the easy way to get it out is you want to rotate this forward all the way until it comes out. And once you got it out, then you want to come to the back and you want to lift up the back panel all the way and make sure it's in this position, because you need to rotate this around 180 and you don't want to hit Megatron's head, but rotate that around 180. And then now we can bring these arms together, and you need to do it on the series of hinges, but also this piece needs to rotate as well. And to do that, you need to bring these up, over, down, and this circle piece is going to fit into that crescent shape. So you bring it down all the way, and then this piece also needs to be rotated down and in, like so. And then do the same on the other side. So you want to bring this up and over and down so that circle fits into that crescent shape. Once you got that, this L shape, then you want to also bring this piece down and in. And when you come to the top, it already got tabbed in. But here you want to tab those two pieces in, like so. And then we're going to leave this up until we're ready to finish that near the end. And then we come back to the front to his chest. You want to pull down the chest, and when you do, you'll see that the waist here untabs. And then once you bring that out, then you want to pull forward the chest. And then there's a little panel piece in the chest that you also want to bring out, like so. And then bring this chest down, and you could see this little cavity here. So you want to now rotate Megatron's head down and in, and make sure that little tab comes up, locked right there. And then there's a tab right here that's going to go into that slot. So you bring it up, but also pointing out there's a little cutout here. So you could see that that angled shape, this piece sits right on top of it. And this is the front part of the tank. So now after we got that done, then now we can come to the legs. So his feet, you want to pull down his feet and extend them forward. And then you also want to untab the shins and bring them out. And it's on a double hinge, so bring them out all the way like so. And then now we want to rotate his hips around 180 and then lift up his side hip skirts and then rotate these forward. And now we're gonna bring up these legs. You could see there's a tab that's gonna go into the slot underneath the hip skirt. So you want to now rotate this up till that tab goes in to the slot on the hip skirt, and do the same on the other side, like so. And then after you got that, now you could see these heel pieces. You want to pull down to untab it on both sides. And then now we can rotate these leg pieces out, and then you can also rotate these two pieces out as well. And you could see these are the side pieces of the tank. And so now let's flip this over so we can get oriented correctly. So now you could see these two pieces, they do open up where you need to bring out these panel pieces of the tank. So you open it up, and there's that tank piece that you want to bring out. Once you do, then close that piece up. And then you do the same on the other side. Open that up, bring that out, close that back up. After you got both of them, then on this double hinge, you want to bring this center piece up all the way till it's straight and flush, like so. And then do the same on this side. So open up this piece, bring out that panel piece, and then close that back up. Come to this side, do the same thing. You want to open this up, bring out the front part of the tank, and then once you do, close that back up. And then you want to lift up this center piece that's on a double hinge. So use that double hinge to get it up all the way so it's straight, nice and flush. Okay, after we got that, now we need to rotate this this way, and now you could see we're gonna straighten this out, but you could see it's not straight because right here it's a double hinge, those two circles. You need to get those straight so that these two red pieces are lined up straight, and then this piece you need to flip up so now it's all straight like so. Once you got it straight like that, now there is the tab. I'm trying to show you, there's the tab in there that's going to go into that slot. So once you got this straight, that tab should simply tab in by bringing it down. Now you could see that's this perfect right angle on corners. And then once we got that done, then we can bring this down, and now we're gonna bring these knees up, and this, you can see this is a double hinge, so you need to use this double hinge to bring it up and in, and you could see this is going to tuck in. So come to the other side, bring this up, and do the same on the other side. It's a double hinge, so you need to get it up and in. And here now I'm going to show you, I'm going to untab it just to show you. You could see there's like two little tabs there. They're going to go into the little cutout slots right there. So basically the tab goes into that crotch. This is going to tab in like so. After we got that done, now we can close these side pieces of the tank. And here, let me point things out. So first of all, there's 4 tabs. There's a tab here on the bottom that's going to go into that slot. Tab here that's going to go into that slot. There's a post and a tab that's going to go into the slot there, and the slot right there. And sometimes it doesn't get lined up because down here, this is on a double hinge. So here, let me show you. So you could see it goes up and down. So you need to use that double hinge to help get this tab lined up into that slot. Once you get it lined up and to get that tab in, then this one should get tabbed in, and then the top one should easily get tabbed in if you got everything all nice and aligned like so. And then you do the same on the other side, the 4 tabs that need to go in, and the double hinge here, you need to use that to help get that tab lined up here, and then this tab needs to line up with the slot up here, and then those two should line up, which it does. And now you could see you got them all in. And now to make sure it's in, give it a good squeeze here, give it a good squeeze here on both sides and here, so the tabs go in all the way. After that, now we can bring down his feet like so, and then fold in his toes like so. And then the last step, now we can come down and you bring out his cannon and the barrel. So the cannon, here's the front, here's the back. And what you want to do on the bottom of the back, you want to bring down this panel piece that's on a double hinge. So you want to use that to slide it forward. So there's an opening here that's going to fit on top of this. And look at, there's the slot here on both sides for the 2 tabs here. And then now we tab in the barrel. So the scope is on the top. Here's the bottom. And now you just simply put this on top. Make sure these arms are opened up so the tabs are out of the way. Get this down and in, and then now you close these 2 so those tabs go into the slot. And after all that, now we have Megatron transformed into his tank mode. Okay, to transform Megatron from his official alt mode to the custom alt mode, first we need to pull these 2 arms apart to untab it from the cannon and the barrel, and then we want to lift up to remove the cannon and the barrel, and then untab the barrel, and then take the now parts forming cannon and put that to the side. And then we need to come up to maybe get a better view so you could see here. Now we want to lift these arms up, and then we want to now open all those series of hinges. So open this up out all the way like so. So I just want to give you a good look so you can see. And then take one of the arms, it doesn't matter which one, take any arm and then open up those two side panels of the forearm and then bring out his hand and then close the panels of the forearm back up and then bring down his hand so it's 90 degrees, and then you could bring this hand down. And now we want to rotate these forearms out 90 degrees. And now we're going to bring these arms together, and the orientation here, it's kind of hard because there's basically a series of hinges, but you're trying to lift it up. And then we want to first, let me show you what the orientation here, it's the L shape like that, and then it's this hinge here that now we need to rotate so it's all the way in, so the hand's facing on the inside. And also do the same on the other, you're rotating this hinge and make sure that the L is facing the L shape so you could see. And then it's hard because the tolerance is really tight. So basically what you're trying to do is get those two tabs to touch each other. Unfortunately, they don't tab in because this is the custom transformation, and now you could see his hands facing out there. And now we could rotate this turret around and take the barrel and then just give it to the bottom of his hand like so. And because it doesn't tab in, you just kind of have to just carefully manipulate the parts so that it's facing the right direction as best as you can. This is a custom transformation, but you can make it work. You just have to be a little delicate trying to customize it. And then now you could see we have Megatron in his custom alt mode. So here's just a quick look. You could see, and now you could see that the turret does rotate, so it does look like it makes a little bit more sense than the official. And here I'll just give you a little close-up view so you can kind of see what it looks like all around. Look at this. This looks really nice. And then you could see those series of hinges. It's the L shape like so. And then there's this hinge here that you need to rotate so that these two pieces come together where those two tabs touch each other. They don't tab in. So here's a look at Megatron in his custom alt mode. Okay, to transform Megatron from his customized alt mode to robot mode, and now we have Megatron back in robot mode. Okay, now that we got Megatron transformed back to robot mode, I'm going to end my review here and let you know that this is really a great figure. And if you're interested in getting this figure, there's a lot of places you can get it, but you can also get it from my friend and owner of toyarena.com, who recently got a lot of these figures in stock. And I will make sure to leave the link for that in the description below. But as far as this figure goes, I'll just say again, this is really a great figure. And hopefully you enjoyed the transformation to the alternate tank mode. because for me, I think it actually looks better, and functionally I think it works better because the turret rotates more towards the center instead of off center. So if you do get this, hopefully you'll try that transformation and see what that's like, and maybe you'll enjoy the alt mode better than the official alt mode. But with that, I'll just end the review here and just say again, this is really a great figure.